Hi, my name is Sigma, and I am your Dungeon Master here on Eclipse, a Star Wars story. I'm going to bring you guys up to speed, but first I want to remind you that the best way to keep up with the campaign is to subscribe to the channel. Previously on Eclipse, a Star Wars story. One of the rebels, that goes by the handle Tunes, was broadcasting rebel propaganda in a sector of the city of Falcon. After the Eclipse team was dispatched, they split up, and they were assisted by a newcomer, Sierra 723, the Terror Trooper. The Eclipse unit was able to shut down the broadcast, but not until after Tunes had broadcasted an image of Sierra brutally killing a rebel. Now the team has a new problem. A contractor of the Empire, the Outer Rim Security Front, has a compound in Falcon that has come under attack by rebel forces. Let's see how our heroes handle this one. Alright, so we're back with another episode of Eclipse, a Star Wars story. I'm joined tonight by Rook, Price, Ghoul, and Sierra. So let's start off with you guys in the gunship, Price's special gunship, and you guys are being transported towards the compound um, after loading up after the whole incident in Sector Delta 13. So you guys are on the gunship, and Price turns on the communicator, and Tash appears on the holographic kind of table almost, or he is projected onto the floor of the gunship and addresses you all and says, "So, this just seems to be one mess after another. The only thing that seems to have come out of today that's beneficial is the fact that the security cameras caught rebel insurgents breaking into the compound holding the rebels' ship, as we discussed earlier. But I will say that Sierra, you do seem to have a knack for terrorizing individuals. That was very grim work. I don't know whether or not I should congratulate you or not. Uh,
Service to the Emperor is reward in of itself.
right. So this compound that you are approaching is, of course, the compound of the Outer Rim Security Front. And he drops off the image, and a floating image of a compound appears. If you'll look up in the let's see, I'll a little circle around it. If you'll look, that's not opaque. There we go. Okay. That's the overview. That's the overview of the compound, and I'll describe it. So, the compound that you're looking at has 3 of those circular kind of donut hangars that you guys were in the previous episode. Really wide, almost Coliseum-like landing bay. 3 of them attached to a rectangular building that has kind of a raised portion. If you check out the interior, which has been labeled and highlighted and everything, the interior is also mapped out, and the raised portion, as you see on the hologram, is a second level to the office portion of the compound. You look at the interior, and yes, you look at the interior and you see not quite a maze. Everything is well sorted. You see a receiving bay for supplies. You see the power station. You see a couple of security stations where alarms can be pulled, as well as spare weapons found, because the outer rim security front is, of course, a security contractor, but this seems to be more of an office type location. You see a weapons lockup in the bottom right-hand corner. You see a general storage, and then next to that, a locker room. You see a cafeteria. You see a child care center, because this is, again, a contractor and a lot of civilian stuff. And then you see the main office, and you look at the hologram, and the office level 1 and level 2, those highlighted rooms, those are elevators. So that's how you transport from one level of the office to the next. After he gives you the rundown, he then reappears next to the hologram and says, "So we have no eyes on rebels. The building is currently in lockdown. However, emergency power has been turned on. It seems like the insurgents managed to break into the power management room, and they managed to throw the base into auxiliary power. However, we do have communication that our lead inquisitor on planet has engaged the enemy and is hunting them. We will need you to engage the insurgents that struck the compound if they are still there, and assist the Inquisitor, and ensure the safety of all civilians within the compound." And he disappears, as does the hologram. Now, since the entire area is a hot zone, the pilot has received orders from command to drop you guys off a few streets over in another landing in a secured Imperial landing zone. And you guys offload there. And as you approach the compound, you're approaching from the main entrance, which is this one up here.
Okay.
So, really quick, I need Ghoul. Are you approaching in a stormtrooper officer uniform? Are you approaching in an ISB officer uniform? Because technically you're still in your ISB uniform from last time. What's going on?
I was in a stormtrooper outfit last time, and I think I just continue to use that.
Okie dokie.
Did we need to
And how many
interrogate
stormtroopers do you have
Rebel?
with us?
Hold on one second. So, what was your second question, Ghoul?
How many stormtroopers do we have with us?
None boarded with you. You can try and grab some on the ground.
Am I forgetting where we left off?
Say what?
Am I forgetting where we left off?
You did have stormtroopers with you last time, but they did not board the shuttle with you.
Okay. So we left them back in the city.
Yes, to secure the prisoners.
That's right. That's right.
Sierra,
okay, I'm not losing my mind.
Sierra, if you wanted, okay, yeah, okay. Sierra, if you wanted to, interrogate the prisoners before you go to the compound, you're gonna have to find your own way to the compound instead of with the group. So you can either interrogate them, because yes, you're correct. There were 2 rebels, I believe, that were taken in for questioning and interrogation. You can go do that now, or you can go with the team now and interrogate them later.
My special line interrogation. If the ISB agent does not wish to interrogate them, then I am willing to wait as well.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you for not being Hyde. Thank you for not being Hyde.
Okay. All right. Okay,
I know
then.
my role.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, so you guys
Dude.
approach from the main entrance. Let's go ahead and start with some rolls. Ghoul, I need you to roll plus sharp to see if you notice something.
See if I notice what?
to see if you notice something. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Damn.
Can I roll as
I
well?
got a 10.
Oh,
got a 10.
this is something that you do not know.
Ah. Ah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So as you guys are making your way forward, with a squadron of stormtroopers, runs by you, not quite at a sprint, but at a canter, in formation towards the compound. And Ghoul, you stop almost. Well, I don't know. Do you stop, or is there like a kind of a falter in your step as you notice a certain person's ship over on the right through an alleyway?
I'm a trained undercover operative. I'm used to not acting like I notice what I notice, so I would assume no reaction from me.
Okay.
Mental note taken, but no outward reaction. And there's Morgan.
I live.
You live?
You
Okay, that's good. So we were joined by Morgan as well. That's good. Okay. Very good then. So we are, long story short, approaching the compound that was broken into at the end of last episode. So, so you know, this is beautiful. Okay, so you guys are approaching the compound, and off to the side you see a couple of stormtroopers. Actually, that entire squad of stormtroopers has kind of stopped to investigate something that's going on. Will you guys let them handle it? It looks like somebody, like a speeder, kind of wrecked in the street almost. Will you guys stop, or will you guys continue on? Like, you guys, some of you can continue on towards the compound, some of you can stop. Like, it's all up to you.
I can pause here if everyone else wants to go to the compound to secure things. I can see what's going on.
Continue.
Okay.
I'll hang back with. No, I'll hang back with him.
You really don't need to. I'm fine here.
Yeah, but it's you, so something's gonna happen.
Well, jack shit's gonna happen if you're around. Like, I don't. I'm just seeing what the hell's wrong with this thing.
Okay, Mr. Terror Trooper and Mr. Sierra and Price, are you guys moving on to the compound as well?
I am, yeah.
Yes, I'm moving on to the compound.
All right, very good. Okay, so let's do this scene then. All right, so Morgan and Ghoul, you guys approach this scene, and Ghoul, you are surprised even further as you see not one face that you recognize, but two. Ghoul recognizes two faces, and then Morgan, you recognize one of them. And as you approach the speeders, or it's a land speeder that kind of collided with a speeder bike, and the two drivers, quote, are arguing over whose fault it was, and the stormtroopers are trying to sort it out and then get them out of the area, because of course it's now an area of Imperial operation, and they're trying to lock down the area. So conversation goes something a little like this. You are such a lousy driver. I mean, honestly, is there not one decent driver on this god-forsaken planet? What do you mean? This is all your fault. This is a blonde woman arguing with a Ghoul, help me out. What race is he?
Weekly?
Yep. And so it is a short, blonde woman arguing with a. Say that one more time.
Weekly.
Weequay in a red duster with a helmet and green glasses, and the Weequay is continuing on ranting about how his land speeder cost him a fortune, and how this woman will surely pay for what she has done, and the stormtroopers are all kind of some of them are just done with all of this. Some of them are kind of flustered
on,
because they have
you-
no.
you Describe him again, quick.
Oh, a long kind of red duster trench coat, green glasses, and a helmet.
You bastard.
And this is why I asked you if you'd listened to previous episodes. Anyways, moving on. So, of course, neither of them recognize you, Ghoul, because when they talked to you,
Yeah.
you were in a different form, a different skin, if you will.
Outfit.
Whatever you want to call it. So they don't recognize you at first, especially since you're in a Stormtrooper captain's uniform.
Mm-hmm.
But Morgan, that blonde woman, turns and watches you approach, and she sees you and recognizes you. And Laswell, your ex-partner that screwed you over, says, "Shit."
Fancy meeting you here. And he's gonna draw his gun.
And now let's flip to the other team going into the compound. All right, you guys have just entered the front hangar of the compound, and a couple of ORSF security guards, as well as a squad of stormtroopers, are all standing around this heavy blast door that is the front entrance to the compound, and they're trying to get it open. What do you guys do?
Wait a second. The dude who voiced Winnie the Pooh voiced Hondo.
Hold on. You're BSing me.
Wait.
There's no way.
This is a
Hold
joke.
on. Who voiced Hondo Ohnaka Star Wars? Oh my God, he did. Moving back to the scene, large blast door, Sierra, Price, and Rook are all standing there. Rook, I'll give you the opening move. What are you going to do?
So they're just trying to get it open? Like,
Yeah, the door hasn't even, the door is locked. Is sealed.
okay, is there any kind of keypad next to it?
Mm-hmm.
Are they trying that?
They are. I'm gonna remove someone's
gonna-
laser pointer privileges.
Is there anything that I can do? Like, is there any other way through?
So the two sub blast doors that are flanking it, there's one on the right and one on the left, that basically lead to the exterior wall of the compound. There's kind of like a tunnel between the exterior wall and the interior wall that allows for like transport of like goods around the compound without being out in the open. So those doors have not been tried yet. You could also circle out all the way around the compound to one of those other two landing pads, which both have entrances to the compound.
I imagine those are probably sealed too.
It's worth a shot.
Is there anything preventing us from just climbing over?
It's a blast
Yes.
door.
So it's the compound. You could have climbed over the walls into the landing pads, but you cannot climb over the wall into the compound. Like the map that's there, all of those boxes are rooms, and then the rest of it is basically a giant. Think of it kind of like a shopping mall where the stores kind of stand in the middle of one big room, or maybe
Gotcha.
an office space set up inside of a warehouse. It's all part of one big room, but little rooms and kind of miniature, not buildings, but rooms have all been built in the big room. So,
What are the walls made of, and how thick are they?
they are made up of Duracrete, which is the Star Wars equivalent of concrete. Knowing what you know about the ORSF and the subcontractors, because you are an educated shock boy, they are probably they're probably reinforced with some kind of Durasteel, probably rebar, not plating, but there's no telling. So some high quality explosives could definitely get you through that wall, but would probably be at the expense of whoever is inside, and there's no way of knowing if there are any civilians on the other side of the wall from you.
Well, aren't the buildings and the walls different? They aren't connected except for like a pathway or something?
Yes, but you have no way of knowing if somebody is in the big room outside of the office spaces and stuff like that. Are you looking at the map or no?
Not right now, but I'm just trying to get into the compound.
Yeah, so
Which
you could
wouldn't
definitely
be-
you could go through the walls. If you wanted to blast through the walls, you could blast through the walls.
Is the ceiling made out of the same material?
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't try that because dropping shrapnel and stuff
We
on
already
people.
have experience with
Let's do it again.
This is a civilian place, though.
Dropping that on civilians, and the fact that it's
Childcare.
tall enough to have a 2-story office building inside, we would have to rappel down. It's
An overall bad
No.
idea.
I will
But-
say,
Let's do it again.
the office does have windows.
yeah, but it's inside the wall.
Yeah, we can't get to it yet.
No, so okay.
Wait,
Isn't it?
are there windows on the exterior of the main building?
So, re-describing the building to you guys, there are the 3 landing pads. Then the rectangular building has one raised portion, and that raised portion has windows. That raised portion is the second level of the office building.
So we could just go onto the top of the thing and go through the windows.
You could.
And the second level of the office building is therefore connected to the raised portion of the outer wall?
There is no outer wall to the compound. It is, it's you've got the hangars, then you've got on the sides, then you've got the main compound. It's like one solid just brick.
Is the compound like enclosed where it has like a roof along with the walls, or is it just
Yeah, it has a
walls?
roof. There's a roof on it.
Yes, there is a roof on it. So what I'm saying is that second level of the office is like you look through the windows of that second level of the office, and you look out across the roof of the rest of the compound.
Do we know if anyone's currently in there?
No, you would have to scan or go in or send somebody in. But
Do we have comms with the Inquisitor that's supposedly inside?
you do not. You don't even know if he's inside or not.
Our best bet must be to go through the second level then. Like, that's the ideal path, I'd imagine.
Do we know if
Yeah.
do we have anyone inside?
You could try and connect to the interior comms. You don't know if that communication has been established yet. No. So
I'm gonna
if
let them go to the second floor, and I'm gonna try to look around the exterior wall and see if any of those other doors are open.
okay,
I don't imagine they are since it's on lockdown, but I figure I'll check.
okay. So let's resolve the other two then. So Jason,
Actually,
okay.
isn't this an Imperial facility?
It's an Imperial contractor facility, so yes, but actually no.
So we don't just have codes or access to codes to get in.
No. You could definitely try
Could we
requesting
have?
those,
Yeah, I
but
was gonna
there's
say,
no
could we
telling
have
how long.
Tash try to get a hold of those?
You could. You'd have to ask him though.
Command from Rook.
Go ahead, Rook.
Do we have any access to access codes for this facility? All of the blast doors seem to be locked.
Oh, that does seem rather unfortunate. Wait one. We'll see what we can do. And
10-4.
you hear the mic click off. Yep. So he'll start working on that. Are you still gonna go investigate the exterior wall or flat? Okay. Cool. Let's see. Jason, are you gonna try and get somebody to establish comms or?
That would be helpful. I was also gonna go through the windows.
Okay. I assume you are going to do that as well, Sierra.
Likewise.
Very good. Okay, so as you guys get lifted by a gunship to the second level of the compound, and you get you set down on the roof, which is remarkably stable. A couple of stormtroopers hop out with you. You guys have about 4 stormtroopers. Rook, you flank around to the side of the compound, and you see a giant gaping hole in the rear wall. And it doesn't seem the only thing about this is that it looks weird. Go ahead and roll plus sharp to see if you understand why. You do not. With the 4, it does not look.
So where is this hole?
It's pretty much smack dab in the center rear of the compound. The exterior wall is broken. The rebar within the wall is bent away, and the duracrete has been smashed apart.
Is the hole all the way out through the exterior wall as well?
No, so it's through the exterior wall, but what's weird is that the interior wall is sealed up with pieces of rock all stacked and piled and just pretty much clogging what would have been a second hole in the interior wall.
All right, I'm gonna get on the open comm and say, this is IC 5138. All stations, we have a breach on the south side. The exterior wall is breached all the way through, and the interior wall has been resealed with rubble. I'm going to need a demolitions team here to breach and infill.
Price, do you believe we should join?
Yeah, copy that. We'll send a squad right away.
10-4.
Okay, so you have a squad coming around. Sierra and Price, you guys can still breach those windows if you wish with those 4 stormtroopers that you have. But you do not have to go in through that way.
I think we still should.
Okay.
Very well. Then I'm prepared.
Okie dokie. Okay, across comms, you guys hear. This is Technician Unit Echo 35. We have comms from someone inside the compound, patching it through to whoever wants to take it. Anybody volunteering?
I'll take it.
Copy that, sir. Passing you through now.
Hello? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Hello?
We got you. What's the situation in there?
It's really, really fucking dark in here. Emergency lighting really isn't working. The battle that kind of took place in here really didn't help the situation. I think they probably hit the electrical station in here, and that's why everything is just kind of dark. I want to say there's about 20 to 30. There's about 20 to 30 office employees in here. No security guards though. They're all dead. You guys might want to be careful when you guys are entering. There are women and children in here. We're all gathered kind of in the safest place we thought we could go is the weapons lockup. There we have the codes to get in and out, so we just thought we'd lock ourselves in there. But the door was broken into, so we're in here. Just be careful coming in because I don't know how what the integrity of this compound's going to look like if you guys decide to do any major demolition.
10-4. Is every civilian in the weapons lockup currently?
Yes, that I believe so. Hold on. Let me get a head count. And
10-4.
the woman, I should say, because it was a female's voice that came over very garbled. You hear her kind of counting in the background, and you start to hear her panic as she says, as she comes back and she says, hold on, I gotta get my voice mod. We're all accounted for except for one. Be advised, there might be a child somewhere. I can't find my son. My son's not here. I don't know where he is. Just be careful. Get us out of here, but be careful.
Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. Do you have any information on the hole in the southern wall?
Damn it! You make me go back and forth between my my voice mod. No. There was a loud crash. I think the Inquisitor sealed it back up when the rebels tried to escape. I think he dragged, using something that we couldn't see. He dragged the big one back into the compound, and they kept going at it. And he sealed the interior wall back up. I don't know. We managed to get everybody while they were off fighting. Kind of. They took the battle below level, and I didn't even know we had a sub basement. But they took the battle below decks, and we got everybody in here, and we're all safe in here, except for my son. I don't know where he is.
How old is your son?
He's only like 4.5. I don't know where he is, and you you hear her off in the background. You hear her calling. Never mind. Thought I had a name. You hear her calling for her son, calling out for him, and there's no response. So soon she's like, I have to go find him, and the mic goes dead.
I transfer back to the open comm. All stations be advised, there are civilians inside. The majority of them are within the weapons lockup, and are locked in there. They have the codes to get out, but they're taking defensive action there. There is one 4.5-year-old male outside the weapons lockup that is a civilian,
Last known location.
unknown. If I were to guess, probably the child care center out of habit,
Do we have a name?
but it's unconfirmed and we do not have a name. No. Demolitions team, continue on. We're gonna still breach this wall, but be advised, any structural element may need to be watched a lot closer. They're claiming instability. The
Copy, no.
power situation is also pretty much a no-go. They said that the power is pretty much out inside. The power station has probably been hit by the rebels, and the Inquisitor is inside as well. They also mentioned a sub-level that the Inquisitor chased the rebels down into. So keep in mind there might be tunnels leading out around the compound as well. Over.
Acknowledged.
All right. And with that, the demo team finishes their setup. The stormtroopers that are with you, Jason, and you, Sierra, place breaching charges on their on windows, stacking 3 and 3 on separate windows. And over comms, you all hear. All right, sync your watches. Here we go. Breaching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breach. Clear. Go, go, go. And the chase is on. Let's go ahead and flip back to a very, I'm going to say, perturbed Morgan as he levels a blaster pistol at Laswell. Let's we'll dig into that later. But long story short, if I'm remembering the recap correctly, basically job went wrong, and you feel as though she screwed you over, right?
Yeah, and the fact she shot at me, so.
Oh, that's not nice. Ghoul, you watch as Morgan draws on the two of them, specifically Laswell. What do you do?
Well, I didn't expect this to happen. So I'm gonna grab his shoulders and try to get in between him and the other two. Okay, I'm not hearing any complaints from him. And once I do that, I'm going to switch to no outward sound. Just kind of keep it contained to my mic and my helmet. Or is that shit? Is that only
No,
Imperial Commandos?
No, that's
okay.
I think that's canon for all stormtroopers.
Okay, cool. I couldn't remember. So I'm going to switch to that and kind of cue into, is there a channel that would just be me and Morgan, or would I broadcast this to the entire team?
That's a good question. I think it'd be if you want, I'll say you could direct message, but I think it'd be very interesting if it was just on Eclipse team comms, not necessarily the general comms, but closed circuit Eclipse team only. And you guys have been hearing in your ears, by the way, you've been hearing all of the information that's going on, and you listen as over comms you hear breaching charges go off, and you know that they're in the compound now. You will hear in a moment. Yeah, so you guys are on closed circuit comms with Eclipse unit only listening in.
Okay. So then I'm going to queue up that and go, Morgan, stand down. You do not need a shootout in the center of the street. Holster your weapon and back off.
All I'm asking is one shot.
Denied.
As you, I mean, this is all well and good, but you know he's not wearing a helmet either, right? He's wearing a nice,
Yeah.
a wide brim hat. So the people on the street are getting a one side of this conversation, and Laswell kind of narrows her eyes at Morgan even more, and she says, "Don't you even think about it. You know exactly why I did what I did, and it was because you fucked up on the mission."
Okay, can I respond to that?
Sure.
Cool. I want to flip to not in helmet voice. Spin towards Laswell and say, I don't.
You cut out real hard right there, man. So you spin to Laswell
Okay,
and you
it's an
say,
issue. So what?
you spin to Laswell and you say what? You cut out real hard, or maybe that was me. Have I been
Damn
cutting
it.
out a lot?
No,
Or,
that was probably me.
yeah, so you cut out. So you spin to Laswell and say what?
I don't need any help from you. Get your shit. Get out of here. This is an Imperial controlled sector, and we're trying to keep you and your body here safe. So leave.
Okay, first of all, he's not my friend. And the Guigui goes, You are very, very correct. Me and this person, we have no prior knowledge of each other. That is complete and total lies. She is not my friend. You are not my friend. Nobody is Hondo's friend. And he throws his hands up in a huff and crosses his arms and turns his backs on it and
Can I
turns his
shoot her
back on
vehicle?
everybody. Can you what?
Can I shoot her speeder?
It's wrecked.
Yeah,
I want to
they
make it
wrecked
even more wrecked.
I mean, yes, you can. I guess. I'm just saying
Okay,
that there
so
will
what
be
would I roll?
there will be consequences. So you're gonna roll plus tough to shoot.
Does a 12 get it?
Yes, it does. So what do you want to hit on the speeder?
I want to shoot one of the engines.
Okay.
Sigma.
Yeah.
Quick DM question.
Okay. Dungeon Master question or a direct message question?
Direct message question for the
You
Dungeon
should-
Master.
You should probably DM the DM post haste.
Spooky.
Spooky, scary skeletons. We should do a Halloween episode. That would be fun.
Agreed.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Roll plus weird.
Yep. Eight.
So the answer is kind of. So I'll give you a hard choice. He can shoot you, or you don't catch it.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I highly suggest you do it.
I'll take the shot. I'll take the shot. I don't give a damn.
So your stormtrooper armor should negate one.
Let's just
Morgan,
fucking laugh.
what blaster are you using?
Well, because he doesn't like her, he's using the hand cannon, and that
Which
does
does-
3.
Oh, so
Free
that's 2 damage. So here's how the scene plays out. Ghoul, due to things that I can't explain, you try to bring your arm up to knock the pistol off of you try to knock the pistol away from hitting Laswell and her speeder bike, but instead you overcorrect, swing your arm in front of the barrel just so that the blaster bolt goes into your shoulder, and you go sprawling down on the ground as you take 2 points of blaster damage. Morgan, you are tackled to the ground by 2 stormtroopers who proceed to very quickly, or quicker than you might have thought, put handcuffs on you or handcuff you behind your back, unless you're resisting.
He is very much going to resist.
I'm going to
Damn
need
it,
you to
dude.
roll plus tough to resist.
Sigma, do I still have my damage from last session?
I will say you had a short rest, so you healed 2.
Okay, hell yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna be in very bad shape if I don't.
And that's a 10. So you manage to knock the stormtroopers off, and now 4 stormtroopers are on you trying to restrain you because you just apparently shot a stormtrooper captain. Go ahead and roll plus tough again. A 13.
Oh my gosh.
you flip a stormtrooper over your shoulder, and into another one, while 2 more approach you from the front, and you put your hands pretty much like on their breastplates and knock them together, and shove them back away from you. Ghoul, I need you to roll plus sharp.
Okay. 12.
You look up and you see Morgan fighting the stormtroopers, and now the entire squad of 9 is trying to restrain him. But you look up and guess who's gone?
Hondo.
And Laswell.
They're both gone.
They're both gone.
Good.
Long gone.
Good.
You stand up with pain shooting through your shoulder, and you watch as Morgan fights off an entire squad of stormtroopers. It's a downhill battle, or it's an uphill battle though. And after severely damaging most of the stormtroopers, you are finally restrained, Morgan, in handcuffs, and you are left kind of, everybody take a step back from you, and you're kind of writhing on the ground trying to get up.
Question.
Yes.
My blaster is a stun setting, right?
Does it?
It's a normal stormtrooper blaster.
They do.
They do.
That's what I thought.
Roll
Can I
to kick
shoot
some
him with
ass.
that? Thank you. Six. Are you?
I mean, it's a good thing that the stormtroopers have armor
He's
that's
handcuffed
resistant.
on the ground, though.
Say what?
He is handcuffed on the ground. I think a 6 should still get it.
It's technically you fail though.
I was going for
He's
a
got a
point blank shot. How do I miss that?
I mean,
Fate of D&D.
I mean, there's really no reason. I guess there would be no reason to technically. So don't mark experience then,
Okay.
because yeah, it is kind of a point blank shot. I mean, the whole purpose of the rolling system is if there's a question of whether or not you'd actually be able to do it, then you roll for it.
Yeah.
Then yeah, no, you managed to stun Morgan, and he is temporarily out cold. Let's flip back to the compound team.
Dang it, man.
Not sure how long he's going to be out cold, but so let's flip back to the compound team. He's like, I regret nothing.
Why, Morgan? Why?
You guys are all entering the compound. Rook, you have 4 stormtroopers at your back. Rook has 4 stormtroopers at his back. Dang it. Sierra has 2, and Jason has 2. Rook, you enter a very dark, large room, and you see some buildings that are now lit by the sun shining in through the open crevice in the wall that's at your back, with your shadow stretching long across the floor. And you can see, with the assistance of the red emergency lighting that is scattered throughout the facility, that the blast door on the other side of the compound, pretty much straight shot across from you, is damaged. You can see a sparking panel next to it, and that's probably why the outside team has had trouble getting in so far. What do you do?
I turn on low light and obviously begin to clear. I'm gonna work my way towards the. Well, probably not. I'm gonna work my way towards the weapons depot.
Are you going to task any additional stormtroopers? Yeah, I know the path. Okay, cool. Are you gonna let the other stormtroopers kind of clear on their own, or are you having everybody on you?
I'm gonna have all of them on me, but one watching our 6.
Okay. Then you make your way up to weapons, and they're all stacked kind of behind you. And then this one's watching your 6. You approach the weapons door. What do you do?
I try to get back on the private comm,
Okay.
and
With the woman or with
Yeah.
Okay. You send a relay, and a different voice comes back. A male's voice comes back, and he says, "The woman you were talking to earlier, Elena, she went to go look for her son out in the compound. Are you guys outside? Is that who we hear out there?"
10-4, open the door and we'll get you out.
Roger that. Opening the door now.
10-4.
And the door opens, and you look in, and there are civilian men, women, and children all inside.
I'm gonna task the 4 stormtroopers to guard them, get out, and then rejoin after they're safe.
Okay.
And I'm going to
what-
go start search for the woman and her child.
Okay.
Did we get that? Did we hear that, or was that just to him?
That was a
was-
private comm to them.
Okay, cool. Just
But
making sure.
I'm gonna go back up on the open comm. This is IC 5138. The mass group of civilians is headed out with a 4 stormtrooper guard. They're like coming out the southern hole in the wall and out the southeastern landing pad. Over.
10-4, Rook.
Roger that.
Any news on the kid?
His mother went to go find him. I'm gonna be continuing my search now.
Acknowledged.
All right. Okay. So, Rook, where are you going to start your search, do you think?
I'm going to carefully head to the child center first, because if I've learned anything from fire department training, it's that kids go where they know.
Okay. You head towards the child center. How do you do it? Do you skirt the wall? What do you do?
I'm gonna take this path here, and I'm gonna be watching. Oh, I can't do it with the push to talk button, but I'll line up where I'm gonna be paying attention
Yeah, I got you.
to.
Okay. Very tactical. All right. So you get to the child care. Whoa. You get to the child care center, and the door is ajar. You can tell that it was forced open, probably by the civilians that were trying to rescue their children. You noticed a broken, I guess, nanny bot is the only way to describe it. And you see several children's toys littering the floor, but one catches your eye in particular. It is a small model, kind of calling it a companion droid is totally the wrong thing.
Oh no!
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of a different word It's not a tutor. I guess a better word for it would be buddy. So, Rook, you have
Protocol droid?
no. Like it's definitely like a child's toy, but also a child's droid. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So think of
The
it
baby's
like
first droid.
think of it that way if you want to. So
I am.
Price and Sierra, did you guys breach same side or opposite sides?
Same side, I believe, would be for the best.
Okay, so you guys both breach the.
Yeah.
Okay, same set of windows. You guys go in, and there it is a long office room. There's a big meeting table with a hologram projector in the middle of it. Several chairs, all of which kind of have been overturned with the battle that went on up here as well. And the door is ajar. What do you do?
I believe that I am best suited for peeking corners with stealth, so I'm going to cloak myself and begin making my approach as I order my clones to, or my stormtroopers to hang back.
All right. So as the four troopers stack, Price, are you going to try and follow him, or are you going to wait for him to go?
I'm gonna wait for him to go and kind of make sure not to bunch up.
Okay.
Because we're in a really bad situation here.
Right. Okay. So Sierra, I need you to roll. What's your how do you engage your cloaking? Is it weird? Is that what we decided?
I believe we said it just works.
Okay. Then you engage your cloaking and you peer around. Now, do you have night vision on that thing or no?
I have no way of knowing for certain, but
I would assume so.
Yeah.
like looking at that helmet, it seems pretty advanced.
Yeah. So we're gonna say that you have night vision. And we'll also say that your reflexes are pretty good because as soon as you step out of the door, you start to take a second step, but hold your foot back as you notice a giant gaping hole in the floor. And you peer down, and it goes through the floor below you and into what appears to be a sublevel. And as you peer down, you hear rustling on the floor below you, and you peer down. What do? You hear noises stirring.
The hole, how much perimeter does it have on the room? Like, can you skirt the edge safely?
You should be able to.
Well, so long. I'm going to switch to closed comms so that it's just within my helmet, so I'm not generating any noise.
Right.
I'm going to say, be advised, there appears to be significant structural damage to the office building. The floors from the second floor all the way down to a unknown sublevel seem to be entirely broken through. Traversing should be done with caution.
Acknowledge.
I would like to do a small circle of the hole, avoiding any rubble, and try not to knock anything down or disturb anything as I peer and see if I can find a better angle to look at what's below me.
Okay. And as you do that, you hear more rustling, and you see a dim kind of you see a dim light coming from what appears to be a handheld device, and you hear a woman's voice whispering and calling out for somebody else, and then you hear a scream as you hear part of the building give way. And you see you peer down through the darkness, and you see a woman with long kind of mid-back length hair tied in kind of like a ponytail hanging by her hands from the first story's floor. And even that looks unstable. Jason, you recognize the scream, obviously. What do you do?
So since I have a repelling line, standard issue for whatever reason, I'm gonna make sure that's hooked up to some place anchored that's secured. And
Hold on, did you just make a reference to the fact that Luke Skywalker for some reason has repelling rope in his stormtrooper belt?
Yes, that is canon. I'm taking it. Fuck you. And then I'm gonna make sure the guys that are with me are covering us.
Okay.
Make sure that nobody tries to shoot us.
If possible, I would like to. I don't know if I should go down there with him. Price, do you want the backup?
Hold on, let me take a look at the map to see where you are in this room.
Because I want to rappel down with you, but at the same time, I don't know if the building can take that sort of. I'm worried that you may get noticed because we don't know what else is down there. Maybe an Inquisitor.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
Inquisitor isn't alive anymore. Whatever killed him.
We'll kill that.
He's fine.
I completely just forgot what I was gonna say.
You rappelled down to you were gonna answer Sierra's question as to whether or not he should rappel with you.
Oh, he's a robot, right?
No, he's you're a clone trooper in armor, right? So he's
No,
a
I
big
mean
sturdy
like
boy.
just in. Oh, okay, whatever. I mean he could, but the problem would be, that's two fairly open targets in a very small confined area, and we don't have to. We shouldn't have to risk more of us.
Understood. Just don't get yourself turned into a pincushion down there. I'll cover you as best I can.
All right, then Jason, you rappel down and you help the woman up, and through your low light visor, you look at Elena Riley Price.